Good morning, class. Today I am here with English grammar. Again, the same topic which we have been doing, the present perfect tense, but with something new. So, in the previous lessons, we have learned to form present perfect tense and when to use them. We then learned to form its negative and interrogative form as well. And I must tell you, you all have done the work so well. That shows how well you understood the lesson. So, keep it up. Alright, today we will try to understand the difference between present perfect tense and simple past tense. At the end of this lesson, you will know when to use a simple past tense and when to use a present perfect tense. So, please do watch it very carefully, okay? Alright, let's begin. Okay, children, you all tell me which tense do we use to talk about the past? Simple past tense? Of course, we use it because the name says it, right? But what about the present perfect? Can we use present perfect to talk about the past? Yes, we can. Both these tenses are used to talk about the past. Then why do we have these two different tenses? Why can't we just have one tense? That's a very interesting question. That's a valid question. And the answer is, though these two tenses are used to talk about the action that happened in the past, but we use them in different ways. We use them in different situations. Now let's see how these tenses are used in different situations. Let's first see when we use simple past tense or how we use them. So simple past tense is used to talk about actions that got completed in the past at a specific point of time. Note these words, specific point of time. So the action that got completed in the past and we know when it completed. For example, I broke my leg last month. She lived there in 2012. Both these sentences are in simple past tense. Now, how do we know that? That is the question, right? So, you notice in both these sentences, the verb broke and in the second sentence, the verb lived are in the past form. Here you see, past form of break is broke and past participle is broken. In the same way, the past form of live is lived and past participle is also lived. So, here you see in both these sentences we have used the past form, right? Now, something that I want you to pay attention to is, see here, I broke my leg last month. Here we are using last month. Simple past is usually used with the past time marker, which means they tell us about the time in the past, specific time. Here, last month is already gone. I broke my leg last month. Last month is past and it happened at a particular point of time, which is last month. Alright. Similarly, here also you see, she lived there in 2012. In 2012 tells us that the action happened in the past. 2012 is already gone. That means she no longer lives there. So, both these sentences tells us that the actions got completed in the past and at a specific point of time. Now, let's see when we use present perfect tense or how we use it. In the present perfect tense, when the action got completed or when it happened is not important. The important thing is its result, its consequences. Okay? Take a look into these examples. I have broken my leg. She has lived here since 2012. Now you notice here, in both these sentences, the verbs are in the past participle along with the helping verbs has or have. I have broken my leg. Here we have used the past participle form of break, that is broken, along with the helping verb have, because with I we use the helping verb have, right? And you notice here time is not mentioned. That means it's not important here. We are focusing more on its consequences, its result. I have broken my leg. Now what's next? What has to be done? We focus more on that. We focus more on the result. The next example, she has lived here since 2012. Here again we have used the past participle lived along with the helping verb has, because the subject here is singular. She has lived here since 2012. What this means? It means from 2012. She has lived here since 2012. This action started in the past but has not finished or stopped. She is still here up to now. When we say she lived there in 2012, here we understand that she lived in 2012. That means she no longer lives now. But when we say she has lived here since 2012, we understand that she started living here from 2012 and she still lives here up to now. So this action is not finished. Clear? Understood the difference? Let's understand it this way. So we basically talk about time, right? So let's divide it in this way: finished and unfinished. Time which is finished and over, and time which is unfinished. So what do I mean by that? Time which is finished is easier to understand. So think like yesterday, last month, last year, and so on, right? It's over. It's clearly finished. Unfinished time could be, for example, today. Today is still going on, right? It's not over. This year, this month is still going on. It's not finished. So what we have to keep in mind is that when we are talking about finished times, we need to use the simple past. And when we are talking about unfinished times, we should use present perfect. Let's look into more examples so you understand more specifically. Okay? I worked hard. Now when I say I worked hard yesterday, that would be fine. That would be fine to say, because yesterday is a finished time. Or I could say I worked hard last week. It is also a finished time, because last week is already over. It's finished. Or I could say I worked hard last month, right? These are all correct because we are using the simple past and we are using a finished time with them. Yesterday, last week, last month, these are finished time. Now if we are talking about present perfect, we could say I have worked hard this week. Now I am using an unfinished time because the week is not yet over. It's still unfinished. I could also say I have worked hard since January. Since January means from January till now. So it's an unfinished time, right? So we can use this with present perfect. Or I could say I have worked hard since 6 a.m. Since 6 o'clock is morning, right? And now it's still today. So it's an unfinished time. Alright. So this is what you need to keep in mind regarding time. So children, here are some time markers used with simple past tense and present perfect tense. We also call it adverbs or adverb phrases. So this you have to keep in mind, okay? For simple past tense, we use time markers like an hour ago, last summer, in 2001, on Monday, then, 2 months ago. These are all finished time, already gone. And for present perfect tense, we use just, yet, already, since yesterday, up to now, since 2001. All this tells us that the action has not completed. So these adverbs or time markers helps us to know whether the action has finished or unfinished. So hoping that you have understood the lesson, I am now proceeding towards the exercises given in the book. Let's understand that too. Okay children, if you have any doubts regarding this lesson, you can call me. I'll be always there to help you out. So please don't hesitate, call me if you have any doubts, because it's very important to understand the concept. Okay, now here you say you have to do this exercise given in the book, page 28. Here it says, supply either the present perfect tense or the simple past tense. Put the adverbs in the correct position in the sentence. So you have to write these sentences either in the present perfect tense or in the simple past tense. Now how will you know whether to write in present perfect tense or simple past tense? So for that you have to read the sentence and find out the time marker, the adverbs used in these sentences. The words that you see in brackets are verbs. You have to change the verbs in past or past participle form depending on the tense in which you are writing the sentence. Let's read the first sentence. I just tell you the answer. Now here you see the word that I have underlined here is just. This is the time marker. Just is used with the present perfect tense. And we know how to write a sentence in present perfect tense, right? We begin with the subject I and then helping verb have, and then the adverb comes in between helping verb and the past participle. So we will write here just, and then the past participle of the verb tell is told. So I have just told you the answer. So this sentence is in present perfect tense. So first you have to read the sentence very carefully and identify the time marker. It helps you to understand whether to write in present perfect or simple past. And then you will know which form of the verb you have to use. Like in this case, just is used with the present perfect, and so we have used the past participle of the verb told along with the helping verb have. So the correct sentence is I have just told you the answer. Let's look into the next sentence. I tell you the answer yesterday. In this sentence, the adverb yesterday tells us that the action has already finished. It is already completed. That means we have to write it in the simple past tense. So we will write I told. Again, the past form of the verb tell is told. So I told you the answer yesterday. First identify the adverbs or the time markers and then change the form of the verb according to that. So in this way you will do rest of the sentences. Alright children, now complete your work and show it to me. Okay, thank you.